Welcome, my Action Principles champions. I'm Bill Fitzpatrick from BillFitzpatrick.com, founder of the American Success Institute, and honored to be your teacher on your wonderful journey to your success. Well, in Action Principle number 1, we learned to set goals. Now, I gave you one big goal, to be rich and retired in 20 years or less. In the coming weeks and months, I will teach you. We're going to go step by step how to achieve this goal. You're going to achieve this goal by advancing in your career or by starting your own business. Then by making enough money you can pay your bills, spoil those you love, and still have money left over for retirement. That's where we're going to start, but I also want you to be thinking about your dreams and how you can put your dreams into your goals. I mean, you may want to become a famous singer, or an artist, or a politician. Maybe you want to be a chef and open your own restaurant. Obviously, if you're rich and you're young, it's going to be a lot easier to become successful and to achieve your career goals. Now, in Action Principle number 2, we divided and we conquered. One of my goals, as I mentioned, was to earn this black belt, to go from white belt, green, brown, black belt. Actually, there are 10 steps between white and black. You take one step at a time. Break down that goal, research, take action. How does somebody who has a white belt earn a green belt? How does a green belt get a brown belt? How does a brown belt prepare, usually a couple of years, to become a black belt? Let's go back to our big goal, rich and retired in 20 years or less. Let's start to divide that goal. Well, you need money, which means, working hard and working smart. Again, you want money to pay your bills because of who we are as Action Principles champions, to spoil those we love. And on top of that, you still need extra money left over that you can invest. This is your investment. You see, when you have investments, it's the investments that are actually going to work for you so that at some point you can retire. Your investments work, you're retired. Now, to do this, obviously, you're going to need a very good job that's going to pay you this money. If you work for somebody else at a big company, you're thinking all the time. You're not just sitting there day after boring day. You're thinking all the time, how can I make more money? Step by step. How do I get that promotion? Who's getting promoted? Who's in charge? How do I curry favor with them so I can move forward? Or, even better, having more control is if you are an entrepreneur and you own your own business. We're going to be talking about both of those things. And if you do have your own business, how do you establish a loyal customer base? And then how do you expand upon that base? Now, let's be very frank. We're going to be honest with one another. We really want to do this stuff, so we don't want to be doing anything under any false pretenses. Average people work 40 hours a week. Average people, average results, work 40 hours a week. And when they are at work, average people generally are only working half the time that they are at work. As an Action Principles champion, I want you to think immediately you have to do more than an average person. So you have to be thinking, well, I might have to be working 50 or 55 hours a week. And even more important, you're going to be working all the time that you are at work. By doing this, working longer hours and actually working at work, you will be at least twice as productive as the average worker. If you're working twice as hard, you're working longer hours, I mean, naturally, we're going to be looking to make at least twice as much money. I mean, I'm not kidding. If somebody's working 40 hours and they really only work at 20 and you're there 40 or 50 or 55 and you're really working all the time, you expect to be compensated for that. Of course you do. You're going to be alert and aware and you're going to do that. So keep that in mind. Average people work 40 hours a week, and average people work for about 40 years. Your big goal is what? Rich and retired in 20 years. So your goal is going to be, yeah, I'm going to do all of this work, twice as much work, and I'm going to be able to retire in half as much time. 40 years for them, 20 years for me. This is the general theories now, but this is what's getting us to think about who we are, where we're going. Divide and conquer. You're thinking, how do I get that next promotion? If I'm a clerk, how do I become the assistant manager, the general? I'm always thinking, what's next? What do I have to do? Then, when you have that better position or you have more customers, then you're making more money, then you have to be disciplined enough on top of that, not to just go out and to frivolously spend all that money, but you have to save some of that money and you have to invest it. For example, own 6 properties. Buy 6 properties, free and clear of debt. That means buy the properties, have tenants, mortgages, pay off the mortgages. If you're in the United States and you own 6 properties free and clear of debt, you will be a millionaire, probably a multimillionaire. Now again, you're thinking, action principle number 2, divide and conquer. How do I do that? Well, you say to some people, like 6 properties, this sounds like a fantasy. But really, if you divide and conquer, you say, well, I'm going to buy 1 property, then I'm going to buy 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Studying together over the next months, years to come, I'm going to teach you how to do all of this. You have to stop, think, take action. Tough, thoughtful, spiritual person of action. That's what you are as an Action Principles champion. All right, now, our next action principle is action principle number 3. Write a personal mission statement. The personal mission statement is, this is the grand vision of yourself. What kind of a person do you want to be? Now you're starting again. You're saying, okay, all right, I'm reading the Action Principles Bill. I'm reading the American Success Institute. I'm getting psyched. I want to be a part of this. Okay, so what is an Action Principles champion? It is a tough, thoughtful, spiritual person of action. Somebody who's working with us to tell other people, so we're helping ourselves and we're getting the word out and helping one another. That's what an Action Principles champion is. You're going to say, all right, I am that person. Okay, from that base, we're going to build upon this base. You're going to, and you have to do this yourself, you have to go out and find the heroes in your life. They could be famous people, they could be local people, they could be parents, teachers, members of the clergy. Who is it that you admire? Who are the people who have done or are doing what it is that you want to do?
Thank you for listening. For more information on Bill's work, the Action Principles, and the American Success Institute, please visit billfitzpatrick.com.